Did you base your initial act about the cable guy on a specific cable guy? Is there a real cable guy that launched this ship, Larry?
No. You know what, Rich? I grew up on a pig farm in southeast Nebraska in a town of 1,200. And I went to college at a Baptist college in Georgia, and my roommate was from Dalton, Georgia. My other one was from Beaumont, Texas.
Okay.
And when I started, when I started doing stand-up, of course, one of the first comedians I met was Foxworthy.
Okay.
And, of course, I was always integrated in the Southern culture from moving to Florida and going to school in Georgia. And then I met Jeff, and, you know, I just started doing characters on stage. And Jeff and I used to sit at the Atlanta Braves spring training games in West Palm Beach all the time, and he's like my adopted brother. I mean, we're so much alike. But we would sit there, and we would just riff off each other, and we just make up stories. And so I remember we'd be sitting there, and one time Jeff would just lean over and go, "Hey, Jubal, did Peggy get that potato salad in, or did she forget about that on the truck?" And I was like, "No, they came and got that last week. 2 of the kids were poisoned." And we would just make up this story. And so one day, when I was doing stand-up, I went on stage and I was trying to find. Originally it was a rodeo bull rider. Didn't get much response, and then I remember a cable guy came to my house, and he was confused about the house he was at. He couldn't find a house or something. And so I made a whole thing about this cable guy, and it just stuck, and it got big laughs. And so I got asked to do a character that on the radio station, and the rest is pretty much history. Just kind of kept getting funnier and funnier and growing and growing. And I'll be honest, I never in a million years ever thought of doing it on stage.
Right.
It just happened. I was at a comedy club in Sarasota, and my buddy Les McCurdy put Larry the Cable Guy, a.k.a. Dan Whitney, which is my real name, and it sold out 2 shows in like 30 minutes, and I got done. I was signing autographs, and it was crazy. So he told me, he said, "You think you can do your whole show like that?" And I said, "Well, daggum, of course I can. I mean, I can talk like a redneck all day long. I mean, that's who I hang out with. We're all buddies." So I went on stage, and I remember I put on what I drove over in. It was a pair of lace-up roper boots, a pair of jeans, a cut-off Nebraska T-shirt, and a NASCAR hat, and I went on stage for the first time. And, you know, the rest is history. It's a complete gift of God. I mean, everything that's happened to me in my career, it just happened. I never really sought it out. I just wanted to be a funny comedian and make a pretty good living at something I loved. And, man, doors just started opening.
And it started with you riffing with Jeff Foxworthy, watching Dale Murphy and Terry Foster play for the Braves. Spring training.
We used to sit in the Glenn Hubbard section where the Hubbard sign was.
Glenn Hubbard. I haven't thought of that name in forever. I remember him. Oh yeah.
And I'll tell you something else. I just sent Paul Bird a message yesterday. He replied to one of my tweets yesterday, but one is like probably the 3rd time I ever went on stage at an open mic night was at a dance club in Boca Raton, Florida. And I had made friends with Zane Smith and Dwayne Ward.
Yes. I haven't heard of those names in forever. It's the Superstation. I mean, we were talking TBS Superstation, Skip Carey. You're talking old school, like Sutton and those guys.
Way back in the day. Yeah. And they drove all the way down to Boca Raton. They sat there on the side of the stage to support me in my 3rd time up. But yeah, I was a huge, huge Braves fan. Still am today, and it's always such a thrill for me when I get to these charity golf events.
Yep.
And you know, there's the group in front of me, Smoltz, Maddox, and Glavin, and now we're buddies. Now I know them all, and it's just, oh, my gosh, I pinch myself every time I play in those things.
Well, you definitely want their stick in your group. That's for damn sure. You want you want to play. I mean, those guys are phenomenal at golf, all 3 of them.
Yeah, they were no kid, especially Smoltz. Smoltz used to pick it up.
It's insane.